Hi, so we're going to go through a really lovely seated workout today. There's a few moves that we'll be doing on our feet, but predominantly it's a seated workout. And the reason why we're going to do this is because there's a lot of my clients who actually come in and say that they've got joint ache, backache, that their hip bones are aching here as well, your hip joints. And so what I thought would be really good is to just show you some exercises that you can do during the middle of your day, either during a break, a tea break in the middle of the morning, lunch break or afternoon break, where you can actually just get yourself reinvigorated again and get your muscles moving. Because our bodies are meant to move, and what happens is we sit at a desk for a very long period of time. So if you're sitting at a desk for at least 7 hours in a day, you can imagine your body is going to feel tired, and these little exercises will be a great way for you to re-energize and get your metabolism kicks out again. Alright, so let's get started. So I just want you to think about sitting at the front of your chair. So I don't have a back to this seat, but you will have a back to your chair. So just make sure that you're not sitting anywhere near the back of the chair. If you have got wheels on your chair, try and put some brakes on, or just recognise that you need to stay as still as you can in that chair. And if possible, to not have any arms on the chair is great. But you can obviously usually pop your hands down, especially if it's an office chair, in between the gaps if you have that as an issue. So I just want you to let's just think about our posture. Let's just think about placing our feet on the floor, wiggle those toes, widen that foot stance, and make sure that those legs are hip width apart. So we're stacking those knees over our ankles, and our knees need to be in line with our hips. So if I just show you from the side, I want you to make sure that your legs are as much as possible in line with those hips. If you can lower your chair slightly, that would be great. So you can see my hips are just slightly above my knees, but that's not too bad. I can make sure that my feet are sitting on the floor nice and evenly. Alright, so we're just going to pull up through our torsos as if we've got something pulling us from the top of our crown, lifting us up from the top of our head so that our chin is parallel to the floor. We're going to tuck our tummies in. Try not to arch your back, so just tuck your bottom tailbone under a little bit. We're reaching up, and with those shoulders I want you to push them back into your back pockets, okay, so opening them out. Now when this happens, I'm just going to show you from the side. Sometimes what happens is I ask people to put their shoulders back and they do this, and they flare their ribs. This is flaring your ribs. So I want you to pop your finger in your sternum, press back, and your shoulders should stay backwards, but you stop flaring this bit so much so that your arms can be just nicely relaxed down by your sides. Your chin is parallel and you're pulling up nice and tall, tummies are pulled in. Alright, so this is actually good posture, and this is what we rarely get to do when we're sitting at our desks. So let's start off, let's get our shoulders moving to begin with. So we're going to take our hands down by our sides. Let's shrug those shoulders up and then just drop them down. So take a deep breath in and out. Keep a little bit of engagement through that core, up in the shoulders and out and down. Good, one more up and down. Good, let's roll those shoulders backwards. So really use your breath, fill those lungs and let that breath out. Use this as a chance to calm your mind and to really think about your body and keep that body in a nice upright position. Roll those shoulders through. Lovely. All right, a little bit of a shake through. All right, let's just have a think about our cervical spine, which is our neck. We're going to take our head from the center. You're going to rotate it to the right. Chin goes down to chest, rotating it all the way through, to the left, and then back to center. So take a deep breath in here. Exhale out to the side, down, chin to chest, round, center, and back. Let's do that again. So out to the side, chin to chest as you go round, feeling how your neck feels, hopefully not too tight. And last time, out to the left, down, and around, and then back to center. Good. I want you to tilt your head to the right. Take your hand over and just place it on your head, just on the top of your head. And what I'd like you to do is not pull it, but I just want you to make sure you can feel that the shoulder stays down and that you can feel a nice stretch to the side of your neck. Take a breath in and out. Good. What I want you to do is now just tilt your chin down, looking down towards your armpit. And you're going to take your hand slightly to the back of your head and just help that stretch coming through. You'll feel it a little bit more down the back and the side of your neck. Take a deep breath in and out. Good. Hand comes up, Take your head back to centre. Let's do the other side. So we're tilting our head down, bring your arm over, holding from the top of your head, just pulling gently. You're just almost like placing your hand on the top of your head. Now then, let's rotate our chin down towards our armpit, looking downwards. Hand goes towards the back of the head and just easing that through. How does that feel? Hopefully it's feeling good. Tummies are pulled in. Take a lovely deep breath. And exhale. And comes up, over and down. Lovely. In this lovely seated position, make sure that tummy's pulled in. We're going to pretend we've got 2 panes of glass in front of us and we're going to do a side bend. So I want you to do a real vertical side bend. So deep breath in and exhale, coming down to the side. Try not to lean forwards or backwards and coming back to centre on the inhale. Exhale down. And back up. Good. And again. Exhale down. Inhale, retreat. Good. And back. Down and up. Let's add an arm in. So let's take our arm up and over. Reach up through that waist, cinching in that spine, that waist. Lovely. And back down to the other side. Reaching over, keeping yourself vertical. And back down. Lovely. One more time. Reaching up. Now I'm really hoping you can feel this. Take your wrist and just gently pull at it so that you can feel that extra stretch through that waist. Take your arm down and let's do the other side. Taking it up, reach yourself over, hold onto that wrist and just give it a little pull. Lovely. Hand comes down and back to centre. Tummy pulled in, shoulders are down and back. Always just keep regrouping where you are. Fantastic. Let's put our hands into our chest. Imagine that there's an invisible line between your hands and your chin. Take a deep breath in here. And on the exhale, we're going to rotate around. Rotate that through. So our thoracic spine gets very stiff, especially that top part of it. And now to the other side. And what we're trying to do is to try and stretch it through and rotate it and get those vertebrae working. Good. Rotate around. Keeping those hips facing forwards. Take it back to centre. And the other side. Good. And back to centre. Lovely. Let's take our arms forward into a bow and arrow. Hands stay here. We're going to take our elbow back, breathing out as you look over that shoulder, squeezing back, and then coming back to centre. Inhale here, exhale as you go out, looking over that shoulder, coming back to centre. Good. And again, all with control, and then back to centre. Last one, taking it back. And then back to centre. Lovely. Bring those arms down. Okay, give yourselves a little shake and a little roll. Good. We're going to take our arms out to the sides. I want you to face your palms away from you. Take the back of your hand and I want you to touch the back of the other hand, keeping everything facing forwards. Reach over. Exhale as you go. See how far you can reach around. You'll see how stiff you feel. One side is usually stiffer than the other. So just try and maintain a nice control, flow motion through. And take your palms up to the ceiling. Take a breath, reaching over and back. Keeping those hips facing forwards, nice and steady. And back over, good. And again, reaching over, deep breath. Tummies are pulled in. Back over. Last one. Reaching over. Coming back, good, arms come down. Now then, if you have a chair which has got a back to it, I want you to hold on to it, so you'd be holding on to here. I'm going to hold on to the back of my stool. Shoulders come back and down, and I'm squeezing with my shoulder blades. So I'm just going to show you, I'm holding from here, or you can hold on to a chair from here. And you're squeezing those shoulder blades back, opening your chest out. Take a breath, tummies are in, and out. One more time, deep breath in. Keep that tummy pulled in, nice and vertical. And out. Good, relax. Take those arms down. Come back to the front. Just reposition yourself. Always just make sure you're sitting in the nice position. Feet are flat on the floor. We're going to do a butterfly. So we take your arms forwards. We're going to roll forwards, tucking that tummy back, coming forward with your shoulders, opening up those shoulders and coming backwards. And again, so rolling forwards with those shoulders like a little butterfly. Coming back, opening out, squeeze shoulder blades back. This is a lovely one for really stretching out those shoulders and the back of those arms. Good, opening out that chest, lovely, deep breath in. Exhale. Good, let's do one more. Over and round and back, lovely. And take those arms down. How does that feel? Hopefully you're feeling that you're loosening up. I really hope so. All right, we're going to just work our fingers. I know this sounds a bit strange, but usually because we have to do very small motions when we're on a computer or on our phones, this is something that's actually really good to do. So I want you to link those fingers together. I want you to press back forwards, take your arms over your head, and then bring those arms down, pushing those palms away. Let's do that again. So coming forwards, link those fingers, press those palms away, coming up and over, and out and down. Now this is a great one to do first thing in the morning. We're loosening up all those little joints in those hands, around your wrists and through those fingers. And it really will help you to stop having any of that repetition sort of motion that you use when you're working on a keyboard or on a mouse. Good, back down, one more time. So deep breath in and exhale as you lift. Tummies are pulled in and around and down. Good. Take those shoulders down, just give them a shake. Lovely. All right, we're going to do a thumb exercise now. So take your hands like this. We're going to place a thumb on either side of our rib cage. If you're a female, it's on either side of your boobs. You're going to press those elbows down, palms are facing each other, and you're going to feel a really lovely stretch through your thumbs. Now, I sometimes can show you this in another way, but I want you to take your elbows back up, take a breath. Take your elbows back down, stretch through those thumbs, good. Inhale, exhale, good, and release. Now, sometimes if I ask you to pull from here in that same way, it's not as easy to do. It's much easier to get your hands into the right position so that they're here, elbows come down, and you'll feel that lovely stretch in through this muscle group here. Really good, especially if you're a texter and your head comes down. So we want to try and make sure that we elongate our necks. We want to stop our thumbs from getting that repetition joint ache through here as well and into this part of our arms. All right, we're going to take one leg forward. We're going to do a nice stretch through our hamstring. So I want you to take yourself up and over, and I want you to just guide yourself forwards. You're going to feel a really nice stretch down the back of your leg. When you get to a certain point, you need to stop, take a breath, and if you flex your foot, make sure that you're just leaning up and over. So you're not scooching, you're not scrunching your tummy in, you're trying to pull your tummy back towards your spine, and you're looking down towards the floor. Okay, take a breath, and if you can come down further, that'll be great. You can either put your arm down your legs, or you can do as I've done, which is support yourself on your elbow onto your knee. Take another breath, and come back up. Now our hamstrings get very, very short when we actually sit for long periods of time. So this is a really good one to stretch that hamstring. So we're taking our leg out, ahead of you, flex that foot, coming up and over, pressing forwards. Lovely. Opening up those shoulders. Really reach forward with those shoulders. Take a lovely breath. Keep that tummy pulled in and out. Good. And again, when you feel that give, go down a little bit more if you can. Well done. Take a breath and out. Coming back up. Lovely. All right, we're going to cross one leg over the other if you can. So cross one leg over the other. Let your knee come out. Now, we all have different flexibilities through our hip flexors here. Some of you might be sitting like this. Some of you might be able to get your leg down. What I want you to do is, whichever position you're in, I want you to come over, and I want you to just come between your calf and your ankle and just come maybe more towards your mid-calf area and come forwards. As you come forwards, especially with this arm, with this knee, you're going to be able to feel that stretch in this gluteus medius, which is on the side of your leg. That needs to be stretched out. It gets very tight. So the further you can come forward, the better. But just come to a point that's comfortable for you. Take a lovely deep breath in. And then let's sit back up again. Good. Let's do that with the other side. So we take our foot down to the floor. And these exercises are great. You can do this in the office. You don't have to be in gym wear. You can do this at a time that works for you. Tummies are pulled in, coming down. And as you can see, you don't need a huge amount of space either. So coming over, that glute muscle is going to really feel it, which is lovely. Everything gets very tight when we sit down, so this is a great way to stretch out. Excellent. And coming up, good. Now we're just going to do one or two things just to find some space. I'm going to actually just ask you to stand up. I'm just going to manoeuvre myself back away from the chair here. Now then, what I'd like you to do is I'm going to show you from the side. I'd like you to just think about, if you can put your chair behind you, that would be great. In fact, I'll do that just so I can demonstrate it for you to see. All right, so what I'm going to ask you to do is you're going to be stepping around about a foot ahead of the chair. Your legs are hip width apart, your tummies are pulled in, your shoulders are up and back. Just think about that posture, placing that weight through your feet. You're actually going to be hinging from those hips. If you want to hold those hands in front of you, you can. And you're going to press yourself back, and if you can, tip back enough to touch the chair and come back up. That could be great. Squeezing those glutes as you come forwards. Let's do that again. So take yourselves back, nice and controlled, looking forwards. Just tap down and come back up. Now, if that's too deep for you, depending on what height your chair is, just go down to a level that's right for you. So if this is your level, that's fine. Coming back up, squeezing those glutes, coming up. And what we're trying to do is we're activating one of the laziest muscle groups in our bodies, which is our glute muscles. So the more you can actually activate those through your work day, the better. Let's do one more of these. So you can do between 5 and 10 of these squats, just so that you can activate that muscle group and coming up. Well done. I'm just going to come to the front. I'm just going to move this chair just out of the way so that I can make sure I don't hit anything. All right, and the only other exercise I want you to just think about is doing a hip rotation. So you're going to hip rotate around and down. Okay, we're going to do the leg as well. So you can put your hands on your hip flexors so that you can feel. You're going to hip rotate around and down. Activates in through those lower abdominals, but it also opens out your hips and those hip flexors around and centre. Around and centre. Abdominals in, around, centre. 2 more. And breathe. Make sure you breathe. Lovely. Excellent. All right, bring those legs together. Put your feet together. Open into a V. Open to parallel. Soften those knees. Make sure that those hips are in line with those knees, in line with those toes. Making sure that we're having a natural, neutral spine. Pulling up through that centre of your core, out through the top of your head. Shoulders are up and back. Hands down by your sides. Take a lovely deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Give yourself a shake and you are ready to go back and do whatever you were doing for the rest of the day. So I really hope you've enjoyed these workouts, and I really hope that you can actually have a go at doing this in your own time. It's a really great one to do if you are someone who sits down for long periods of your day. You're going to really find that it really helps those muscle groups move. You'll find that you'll be less stiff, especially through your neck, your shoulders, and that lower back. And let me know how you find it. But have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you very soon.